Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, November 15th, 2022. And because it's Tuesday, we're going to play a little bit of Trivia Tuesday. Today's going to be a little bit about kind of like running current events, talking a little bit about New York, talking a little bit about CIM coming up, because that's where we're at, exactly in between New York Marathon and CIM coming up in just, I think, like 3.5 weeks. So maybe not exactly in between, but we're pretty much right there. But before we get into that game, let's say hi to everyone listening on the podcast on the audio-only version. Hope you guys are having a good run or a safe commute either way, because here in the Midwest, it is snowing. And it's still snowing. It's been snowing like through the night into today. Nothing's really sticking on the roads, but a lot of accumulation in the grassy areas. My driveway was super slippery. I almost fell. I was wearing the Deckers Lab Co-Z boots, the UGG ones. And those do not have a lot of good grip. I almost slid down the driveway. We're at a little bit of a hill. So hopefully, whether you're driving or running, you have safe conditions and sure footing. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, hopefully you got back home from your commute already safely, and now you're snuggled up nicely, maybe with a heating blanket, maybe because you got a little bit of like a sore back like I do, or maybe you just wanted to have some extra warmth on your back. Well, maybe you got a cat. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube and you got a cat in your lap watching this. That sounds really nice. I have no desire to actually have a cat, but I've been just really drawn to cat-based, and I'm like, everything comes in circles. What's old is new again. I'm just like obsessed with cats on the internet right now. So that's a phase that I'm going in. But enough about me. Let's see who else we got here in the chat. We got Runner Will says, hello, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing day. For sure, turning the fall-winter page here. Yeah, for us too. Will's out on the East Coast. We're here in the Midwest. And as you know, in the Midwest, everybody, or maybe you guys don't know, we don't do fall transitions. We just go straight from like one season to another and then bounce back and forth a couple times. We have like fools every season, like full spring, fool's winter, full summer, just tricks. The weather is vindictive out here. Bishan Mom says, hi, everyone, with a couple of wave emojis. Happy Tuesday. And it says, hi, Kawuzi and everybody. Raining condition here for tonight's run with Pip. Trying to decide if it's cold enough for a rain jacket or not at this time of year. And is when you take Pip out for a run and it's raining, when Pip comes inside, does Pip just do the big shake, or like you dry the dog off with a towel, or what's that situation like? I'm wondering, because I feel like that could get messy if you don't somehow dry off the dog. JC says, good afternoon, everyone. Hate missing any part of Trivia Tuesday. We'll stay on as long as I can. All right. Well, let me get through a couple more of these initial comments, and then we'll head right into the game. Eliza says, hi, CoFam, it's 23 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning. That's cold. I'm woefully unacclimated for such temps. Too soon. Is it? I mean, it's what's today, 15th. It's exactly the middle of November. 30 days has November, right? Yeah, exact middle of November. 23 degrees does seem a little bit low. I feel like in the Midwest, I was just talking about how the Midwest, like, the weather's vindictive. The most misleading thing about the Midwest weather is like the average temps. So they'll give, if you look at like, any place, maybe you're considering moving to the Midwest, and you're looking at what are the average temps in November, and you see it's like a nice gradual fall, because it's like, the numbers average out. But the days are actually, it's like a spike, so it's more like a crazy wild roller coaster rather than a gentle slope. And we're seeing that here. I don't remember where you are, Eliza, but yeah, here it was in the 20s for my last two runs. Today, even though it was snowing out, beautiful conditions. Even though it was snowing out, it was the warmest day I've run in like half a week. And the irony is, last week, just a week ago, I was like crumbling in the heat of New York. Isn't that weird? Dr. Josh is here. He says, hey, CoFam. What's going on, Dr. Josh? Good to see ya. Hopefully you're doing well. Right. Sean Devlin says, hey, everyone, with a wave emoji. He says, skip the run for a Peloton ride this morning. Peloton, right? Not Peloton. Peloton. Struggles on the bike, too. Oh, man. How long does it take to recover from a marathon? Maybe I'm not giving myself enough time. I'd say it takes as long as it takes, I've been hearing a lot of formulas lately in podcasts. And I'm like, depends on a lot of factors. How hard you go. How poorly did you race it? I feel like if you really went to the well, hit the wall, struggle, it might take you a little bit longer to come back. but even if you raced it well, it's still going to take a long time to come back. So just everyone's different. I wouldn't rush it. Take your time. I was looking at the calendar today, and I was just trying to plan for like the rest of this month, next month, into next year, trying to figure out, can I go to London next year? You know, I don't have a bib, but I might just go kind of film everything that's going on, and all that stuff. And I was looking at Tokyo, and I keep forgetting that Tokyo Marathon is like the first week of March. I keep thinking it's at the end, so I feel like I have 3 months after the new year, but really 12 weeks from Tokyo is like the week after CIM. So not a lot of time. Everything's coming up fast. All right. Let me get a sip of coffee here. Let's see. Let's get to the game. I think it's time for the game. All right. So we got some New York City Marathon questions and some CIM questions. All right. Kind of like running current events. I drove back over to the condo over the weekend, where we used to live. We still have it. We need to remodel it and then sell it, all that stuff. But I had a couple of packages that got sent to me over there. Not everyone knows my new address of the people that like I've given my address to. And so like I picked up this watch, which is a Polar Ignite 3, and a bunch of stuff from Rabbit. And then what was something? Oh, something from Reebok. So I had a couple of packages that day over there. But I listened to Wait, Don't Tell Me, and I was like, oh, this is a really great way to talk about current events in a trivia format. And I'm like, I can't really copy that, but that's what the inspiration is for today. All right, guys. So first question, New York City Marathon related. Who ran the New York City Marathon faster? Ashton Kutcher or Casey Neistat? Two celebrities who ran the race. Felt like, I felt like going into this, my money, I would have a clear idea of which one I had my money on. But then, people talk about Ashton was an athlete, all this stuff. So, who had the faster? Let's go with chip time. I don't know if I think they both started with the celebrity corral, So I probably started at the same time. If I recall correctly, it wasn't Ashton in Casey's video. I don't remember. I don't know. All right. Let's see. I saw some other people in here. We got Matt LeGrand in here, says, Yoko, what's going on? Congrats on New York City Marathon. It looks amazing. Look what I wore today. Wow, swim, bike, run. There we go. What's going on, Matt? And then Tommy's here. He says, you don't need time between marathons. That's easy for you to say. On the Redemption Tour. 3 marathons under 3 hours, right? Man, that's impressive. Especially that New York one. That's the hardest one. Incredible. All right. So the answer to the question of who ran the New York City Marathon faster, Ashton Kutcher or Casey Neistat, it's really close. They both ran a 3-hour, 54-minute marathon. But Ashton came in, edged out Casey Neistat by less than half a minute. 3:54:01 for Ashton and 3:54:28, I believe, for Casey Neistat. So by less than half a minute, they were separated. And I don't know if you guys saw, I was looking at Joe Hale, who's a photographer, running photographer. Does a lot of work with New Gen, does a lot of work with Heartbreak Run Company. His TikTok, he had a Insta360 Go, like chest mounted, as he was snapping photos at the finish line, because he was a finish line photographer. And he got both, because they came in right away. I thought he had edited it to make it look like this was all happening like at the same time, but he actually, like, you see him like taking pictures of Ashton Kutcher as he's crossing the line, and then right away, pretty much right away, I mean 27 seconds later, right away, Casey Neistat is like right there too. So it was pretty cool to see. All right. Adam says, I have no idea who Casey Neistat is. He's a videographer, very famous YouTuber and vlogger. He's also done like documentaries for HBO. He's done other like bigger films, but he's most people that are making YouTube videos today probably will list him as an influence on some level. So he's pretty important in the YouTubing space. Maddie Mac said it didn't look like Casey was enjoying it. Haha, tough day at the office. I was really surprised at his finishing time, because I was like, I remember seeing some of his like training runs. He was just banging out like really long runs, like 20-mile runs at under 7-minute pace. And I'm like, this guy's gonna run like a 2:48. I mean, it was a hot day, all that stuff. And he said that his training wasn't great, but like as of like a couple months ago, he was on fire. Yeah, Luke Klein says Casey has 12 million subscribers on YouTube. Yeah. All right, let's get to the next question. All right, that's question number 1. Question number 2. This is going to be pretty obscure. I don't know if you guys will know this, but you know how people like, let me hide this. You know how people like hold the finish lines, finish line tape? Over the New York City Marathon weekend, there was also the USATF 5K championships, right? And so it takes 2 people to hold a finish line tape. For the men's race, one of the people holding it was Marcel Hoog. I think it was Marcel Hoog, one of the wheelchair racers. Now I'm not sure about that, but in my mind, it's Marcel Hoog. And then for the women 5K championships, one of the finish line holders was Emily Sisson. New Balance athlete, just broke the American record for the marathon. But on the other side of the tape was one person got to hold the tape for both the men and the women. Who had the distinction of holding the finish line tape for the USATF 5K champs for both men and women? I don't know if any of you guys are going to get this one. This one's going to be tough. Oh, man, you guys got it right away. I'm like, this is super tough, very obscure. No one's going to get it. And then the answer, you guys had to answer right away. I thought I was being so tricky today. Oh, my goodness. So funny. First one to have an answer right away was Stephanie. She's like, Erin Azar, Mrs. Space Cadet. I saw some of her like TikToks about it. I didn't realize she held it for both of the races until I listened to her podcast. She has a podcast with Mike. I don't know how she knows this other guy, Mike. It's not her husband, which I thought when she said she was going to do a podcast that it would be with her husband, but it's not with her husband. It's with another guy, Mike, who is not a runner. So it's like not a running podcast. Sometimes they talk about running, but she was talking about her New York City Marathon weekend and how she was super nervous about holding the finish line tape. But Luke Klein had it as well. Eric tried to write in Aaron, but I'm sure this was autocorrect, switching it to Elmo. Kevin Scott thought it was Bill Clinton. I mean, I don't know. Would the security be way too hard for that? But his daughter, Chelsea Clinton, has run the New York Marathon many times, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So that's not a bad guess. It's actually not a bad guess. Oh, I said, if it is Aaron, it makes me very happy. She talked about it a lot. She was like super, super nervous. Martha's Aaron is so hilarious. Yeah, Stephanie said, I think Aaron said that Daniel held the tape on the other side of the men's race. That's right. It was a wheelchair racer, the American. Marcel is not American. He's the Swede, right? Swedish. But it's the American. I forget his last name. Adam says, I don't know who she is either. Adam, it's probably because you're not on TikTok. But she became TikTok famous as just a regular mom runner out of rural Pennsylvania during the pandemic. Developed a huge following on TikTok. I met her at TRE last year. This was right after she had run the New York City Marathon for the Michael J. Fox Foundation. And she raised I want to say she raised $75,000 for Michael J. Fox Foundation. She was on the Today Show. And she's just been exploding. She's on Instagram now too. And I think initially her Instagram growth was slow, but then it exploded too. Now it's over 100,000, I think. Yeah, she's super nice. Very, very funny. She could have been a comedian if she wanted to. She is a comedian now, basically. She's super funny. All right. Eric said, nope, not a typo. He wrote Elmo. Yeah. JC says, I don't know how some of you have enough time in your day to know who all these people are, much less follow them. I spend a lot of time on my phone, I guess. You know, I get it's kind of like it's kind of work research, you know, just knowing what's going on out there. I don't know. Yeah. Luke Klein says, I'm not on TikTok. Her YouTube channel is pretty good. Yeah, she's currently trying to discover what runners mean by strength conditioning. I think she's going to be running the Boston Marathon next year I'm not sure whose bib she's going to be. I don't know if it's an Adidas. I think it's a BAA bib. I think BAA is giving her a bib. But she's doing some strength training. She's getting ready. Yeah, Martha says, I'm not on TikTok, but discovered her through the Believe in the Run guys when she was a guest on a YouTube video. Yeah, she was on a YouTube video. She was also on The Drop a little while ago, too. And she's on IG, which Martha is now on Instagram as well. Drake says, how many hours a day do y'all spend on your phone? I recently saw my screen time was 3.5 hours a day, and I've dropped it down to 1 hour and 15 minutes per day. Mine fluctuates. I did a 30-day detox challenge with an Apple Watch, you know, and I was down to like 9 minutes a day. But for me, I mean, I kind of have to be on my phone for some of the stuff that I do, as I discussed in the video. There's stuff I can move to an iPad. There's stuff I could do to a laptop. But lately what I've been trying to do is just, you know, we moved to a house and I hate stairs. I still hate stairs. And so what I do is like during the day, I'll put my phone upstairs. And then so if I want to look at it, I gotta go up the stairs. Never mind. And then in the evening when I'm more upstairs, I'll put it downstairs. So there's like, I got to go down to the kitchen for the phone. Never mind. I'll just go to bed. I'm tired anyway. So that's been my strategy. Just leave the phone where I'm not. I don't have it on me right now. It's actually up in the kitchen. All right. Brendan's here. He says, hey folks, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Freshville More version 4 is on the way. I blame Cope for the purchase. Dude, I think you're going to like it a lot. So you can thank me later, I think. Well, hopefully you like it. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm definitely going to be right, but I hope you like it. It's a good one. The 100-mile review video went out on that today. Man, that shoe is easy to log miles in. Really good. Just really, really enjoying it. All right, let's get to question number 3. All right, we're going to shift gears a little bit. Here's the transition. Here's the segue. So from Citius Mag, what do you call it? The news organization, Citius Mag, the running news media company. So we had Dana Giordano from Citius Mag running in the elite field for the women's 5K, USATF Championships 5K. Then we had Kyle Merber running in the, was he in the elite field or was he like sub-elite? He was shooting for an OTQ in the New York Marathon the following day on Sunday. But which member of Citius Mag is in the elite field for CIM? I don't know if he's still planning on racing it, but I was looking at the elite list yesterday and I saw his name on there. So I guess that narrows it down too by saying he. But which member of the Citius Mag crew is in the elite field for CIM? Scott Struhl says, what is a Citius? I think it's, I want to say Latin for speedier or with speed, right? Is that right? Yeah. So like Citius Mag is a thing. Then there's Citius Run Club, which is a run club based out of Denver or Boulder. I'm not sure which one. I think it's Denver. And then there's also on the lower level underneath the track at Hayward Field, there's an indoor track underneath underground. Along the walls along that track, there's an indoor track at the basement level, concourse level, what do you want to call it? It says Citius real big. So like it's a running theme, I guess. So that's where that comes from. All right. So which member of Martha guessed Cal Neff. Cal Neff is on the elite list, but he's not a Citius Mag person, as far as I know. This one is going to be hard. Midlife runner. This question is too runnery. Yeah, this one's real obscure. Luis says, Laura Galvan, is she on the list? Is she running? No, Laura Galvan's not running a marathon, is she? She's not run a marathon before, has she? I thought she was a 5,000 meter runner, right? I met her last year at TRE. She's really nice. Eric says Darth the Sidious. That's amazing. I love that. That's really good. I like that. All right. Yeah. Adam says the Olympic motto is Sidious, Altius, Fortius, faster, higher, stronger. Yeah. So that is where it comes from. Is that Latin? It's not Greek. It doesn't sound Greek. Maybe. I don't know. All right. So the correct answer is David Melly, who is frequently one of the other like kind of commentators for a lot of the Cities Mag stuff. He was very frequently on camera during all their Eugene World Championships coverage. He's on the list. I don't think he's listed as a debut, so I think he's run a marathon before, but he's definitely in the elite field. So anyway, I don't know if there's been any changes to that. You know, elite fields change all the time in terms of who's on the list versus who's actually going to run. So we'll see if I see him out there. But there you go. All right. Whoops. Where do we go? Here, let's get this off of here. There's a actual running question. Sean wants to know. What would be another shoe to add to the rotation? I have the Mach 5 and the Novolast 3 currently. Maybe the 1080. I would probably go with a max cushion shoe, or like I'm sure you have a racing shoe, so that's probably not something you need to add. But I would say maybe a speed shoe, but I'd probably look to add like a more 1080 would be a good choice. More version 4, maybe SC Trainer. I like the SC Trainer, but it's way too much in the heel for me and not enough in the forefoot. I wish I could shift it a little bit more, but yeah. Yeah, and Dr. Josh says, in the opening of the Prefontaine movie, it says Sidious, Altius, Fortius. I've never seen that movie. I'm going to have to check that out. All right. Alex S. says, love the content code. Would you train and run a marathon in Novolast 3? Marathon in April, looking to do both in one shoe. Yeah, I would. If you want to do one and only one, I think that's definitely one that can do it. I think that the Rebel 3 would also be a really good choice, and the Mach 5. Like those would be 3. Because I emphasize maybe having a really good daily trainer that can do a marathon rather than a really good marathon shoe that can do daily training, because you'll spend the vast majority of your time in your daily training. Another one to think about though is Endorphin Speed 3. That one didn't work out for me. I had something weird going on with my foot in it, but that I think a lot of people would probably pick that one as well. All right. Cody Davis wants to know what's a good New Balance daily trainer. The Rebel 3, fantastic. I also really like, and I think it's going to be highly underrated by the end of the year, is the 880 version 12. Just took that one out again for another run. That one, it really improved on it from last year, version 11. Version 11 felt very kind of like rubber outsole heavy. This year, there's still a lot of rubber outsole, but they tweaked the fuel cell foam in it. And it's just a lot more lively, a lot like less dense. So I really like that one too. CV76 says Rebel 3 video. Didn't I do one? I didn't do a Rebel 3 video. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did a Rebel 3 video, right? No? There's no way I didn't do one. That's a major oversight if I didn't. Because at this point, I'm closer to 100 than I am like 20 or 30, you know? So let me double check on that. All right. Let's go to number 4. And I have some context for this. I have some follow-up, some scooping news. Well, I don't know if I should scoop it, but I'll let it. Anyway, I have had a conversation with this person, but I'll let that person get that news. But anyway, because I didn't like ask it in a way that it would be like on the record or whatever. Not that I'm a journalist, but you know. All right, here's question number 4. Which athlete in the CIM elite field, because I'm going off the CIM elite field list, which athlete in the CIM elite field also just won the Tunnel Hill 50 mile last weekend? So last weekend, as in like 3 days ago, won a 50-mile race. And now is still on the list, still has a bib to be in the CIM race 3.5 weeks from now. Any takes? So Line says Des Linden. That's a good guess. Definitely a good guess. Richard Wilson says Tim Tollefson. That would also be a really good guess because Tim Tollefson lives in Mammoth Lakes, and I think that's pretty easy drive. He was there last year. He paced someone last year. Was he pacing like his girlfriend or something like that? But I didn't see his name on the list. So, yeah, Frank. The Rebel 3 video that I made was finally a daily trainer. Yes, it is finally a daily trainer. Yeah, I did make the Rebel 3 video. A lot of guesses for Dez. And this is coming in with Cookie Monster. Does Cookie Monster run? Maybe that's why you need so many cookies. You know. Runtime, he says Zach Bevan. Was Zach in Tunnel Hill? Connor Davis says Zach Morris. Eric says Phil Young. I'm not familiar with Phil Young. Is that a real answer or is that an intentionally wrong answer? I can't tell. Eliza has it. It's Raj Paul with his flowy locks. Yeah, I tweeted about it yesterday because I kept, for some reason, Camille Herron was like, did Camille Herron just go to Tunnel Hill and not run it? She's just there to cheer people on. I'm not sure, but she was like posting she was like live tweeting updates throughout the race. I didn't know the situation really, but she had video footage of him crossing the finish line and was like, Raj Paul Panau wins Tunnel Hill 50. After like the fifth time that I saw it, I was like, wait, he ran CIM last year, and I thought I saw his name on the CIM Elite list for this year, and it is on the list for this year. So I'm like, is he? So I retweeted Camille's like finish line footage, and I was like, is Lightning Raj still gonna run CIM after winning a 50-mile race? Like, what for? I don't know. I don't understand that. So yeah, I don't know. So we'll see if he's there. I did message him to ask if he's going to run, and he did reply, but I can't. I'll let him share whatever decision he makes. Adam says Mammoth to Sacramento is not an easy drive in the winter. I don't think Mammoth to anywhere is an easy drive in the winter though. And I guess in first week of December could be winter up there, right? Are they getting snow up there yet? All right. Eliza says my friend ran the 50, so was tracking what was going on. Oh, I thought maybe you're just a Lightning Raj fan. You know what's bizarre about Lightning Raj? Like he, I don't know if it's bizarre, but like he loves nunchucks. Like he's posted very many reels on how he uses nunchucks as both post-race recovery, but also as a way of meditating. And I'm like, that's pretty awesome. I think that if I tried to do that, people would be like, what's going on here? I think Raj can pull it off. People would be like, what's this? All right. Let's get to question number 5. All right. So for question number 5, everyone knows, maybe not everyone knows, but CIM is well known as a place where people can go to try to hit those OTQ standards. It's a rolling course that's mostly downhill, has net downhill, pretty reliably good weather because of its location in Northern California, and it's a race where other fast people go to race fast. This year it's also the USATF Marathon Championships too, so there's a lot on the line. Monetarily as well. So the men's and women's winner will each earn 20 grand. So what's cool is that the men's winner and the women's winner both have the same prize. It's not a different size pot for men or women. They each can win 20 grand. How much do you get if you OTQ? Because they're trying to encourage people to keep coming there, and they enjoy that reputation as the OTQ race. They have separate men's and women's finishing shoots to further emphasize the celebration of the men's cutoff time and the women's cutoff time, because it's gun time, not chip time. If you hit your OTQ at CIM, how much will the Sacramento Runners Association give you? Any ideas? What's the bonus? What's the bounty? Frank, $14.92. Perfect answer. It's not correct though, but that's a great place for that to come in. Mm, you know what? You win. You win a chance to run the OT. Let's see. Yeah, Luke Klein says it's big money for running. Yeah, I mean 20 grand is a lot for a race of the size that CIM is, because it's not like world major size, you know. Um, but I feel like that's a decent amount of money that's going to draw some talent. All right, Stevie76 says 100 Earth credits. Innes thinks it's $2,500. Lee Wilson thinks it's 125. Martha's guessing Bill Clinton. You get to win Bill Clinton. You get a bagel. Oh, I don't remember there being bagels after the race last year. I think that there were like pretzels. They had a really nice, like a bike water bottle. That's a CIM finisher on it. They had a really nice finisher's poncho too. But I don't remember. Were there bagels? Did I miss it? Dr. Josh thinks it's a 492 bonus or a 512 bonus. Stevie thinks you get a box of bananas. You get a box of Tracksmith bananas. But someone already had the right answer up earlier. It was Lou. The correct answer is $500. You get a $500 bounty bonus, whatever you want to call it, payout if you hit your OTQ. So I guess the winner will likely, unless something really weird happens weather-wise or on the course, whatever, will when the winner gets $20,000 plus $500. I think there's also like a $3,000 bonus if you set the course record. I think I don't remember all the exact numbers, but the prize pot total, they've got $90,000 set aside to give away, not to give away, to award to the fastest runners over the course of the weekend. So I think that's pretty cool. Stephanie says, really hoping Ari gets her OTQ at CM. You have to let me know who Ari is so I can cheer along as well. Martha says there is always beer. Sierra Nevada is a sponsor, and I feel like that's like a really quality beer sponsor to have. I'm a big fan. Yeah. Let's see. Luke Klein says the payouts are capped at it's 30K. Is the OTQ payouts are capped at 30K in case there's like a lot of people? Yeah, and Lou confirms the course record bonus is 3K. Nice. Because I'm guessing like, well, if it has to be like the fastest? Like what if like 3 people hit the course record, like the entire podium does? I'm guessing it's probably just the first. So like the first person, you can win $20,000 or maybe up to 23 or 23.5 because you then probably also hit an OTQ. Interesting. All right, guys, I got a bonus question for us, too, because there's a lot that happened in the running world this week. It's not a CIM question. It's not a New York City Marathon question. Here's a bonus. I think that you guys will know this because of this audience. I think you guys will know. But in case you didn't hear about it, here's a bonus question. Which resort town just announced that they will host the U.S. Marathon Olympic Trials? I think you guys are going to get this nice right away. Yeah. So it was pretty funny. People are complaining already, but I'm like, this city's big enough. There's going to be a lot of hotels. So family will be able to get there. It'll be easy to travel there. Travel costs will be less, hopefully. Overall, support teams can go there. Families, spectators. I'm going to go. Fans can go, So CV76 is New Vienna. Can you imagine if it were New Vienna? That's awesome. Oh, guys, I got some bad news about New Vienna. It's not bad news. It's sad news for me. So, like down the street from where my in-laws live, there's this old farmhouse. Beautiful farmhouse. Just absolutely lovely. My in-laws and my wife, they also knew who used to live there a long time ago. But the house has been basically like pretty decrepit. It's been falling apart for years. Someone still lives in there, although everyone in town, it seems to be common knowledge that the waters and the electricity has been shut off for like years. So they don't know how the person that's living in there is taking care of activities of daily living, that kind of thing. Anyway, my dream always one day was to buy that property, rehabilitate that old home, restore it to its... I'm not a restorer type of guy. I love throwing things away. But this house was just so pretty, and the property was just so nice that I was like, whenever they want to sell it, I'm going to be like, can I buy that house? I'll restore it or pay someone else to restore it. That because Lord knows I can't. But my wife sent me a picture, and apparently the house is in such bad condition that they eventually sold the property to a nearby farmer. And instead to level the property, they just burned it to the ground. And so like my mother-in-law sends my wife the picture of this beautiful home, or once beautiful home, like just completely engulfed in flames. That was a really sad picture. I mean, I don't really have that many desires to move to New Vienna. It's a lovely place. I love visiting. I did live there for a little bit, I guess. But like for that house, I would have like maybe moved there. Like maybe once the kids were like gone, you know? Yeah. Dr. Josh has a Kofuzi flipping houses channel. It'd be like, do you guys remember the Vanilla Ice flipping houses show? It'd be like that. But like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it with gusto. Yeah. So. Yeah. Martha says, "Oh shucks, that's awful." It is. It is. It's very sad. It's very sad. You should hear the way that my mother-in-law talks about that house and like how in disrepair it was. She was like, Loretta would have been so mad to know that her house looks like that now. She would have been so embarrassed. You know, it's just amazing. I don't know if the name's Loretta. I think Loretta was a different neighbor, but you know. Stevie 76 says, "Are you ready for your fixer-upper?" Dude, we just bought a brand new house in the subdivision. I'm the opposite of ready for a fixer-upper. Yeah, I don't like character really. I like just give me a box, a fungible box. Just like I'll take this box. It looks like all the other boxes, you know. Frank said Vanilla Ice had a house flipping show. He did indeed. He had some really big projects too. It was amazing. I'm like, who would hire Vanilla Ice? But I don't know. All right. Did anyone actually answer the question? No one knows? I'm sure Dr. Josh knows. Calvin says it's the resort town of Ohio. Nope. Calvin Hong thinks it was Cincinnati. Cincinnati would be a pretty good choice because it's so hilly there. Frank said Aspen, where the beer flows like wine. But you guys had it. You guys all knew. I think, did Martha have it first? Yeah, Martha had it first. Orlando. It's going to be in Orlando. It's not going to be at Disney World. I listened to a podcast, City Smith podcast, where they interviewed the people at Track Shack, which is going to be one of the race organizers that is going to help put it on in terms of like boots on the ground logistics. And they're like, it's going to be downtown Orlando. It's not going through the parks. They have a couple of other races that goes through downtown, so it'll be a loop course. They know how to do that. They know how to build it. And they say it's going to be great for spectators as well. So a lot of people had that answer. Tracy, Claire, Runner Will, Lou. And then I got derailed by Stevie76 submitting New Vienna. You know, there is a Hopkinton in Iowa. They used to have a marathon there, but now they don't. I think there wasn't enough interest. I'm guessing that's why the town was called Hopkinton, and maybe that's why there was, you know, one of those small things where it's like, this part of town, we're going to call this part of like this unincorporated area, we're just going to call it a town. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened. I should dig into that. Figure it out. All right. That was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for playing trivia today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I like doing this kind of like current event stuff whenever it's possible. So maybe we'll do this one again. Amazon has been, increasing its ad spend because it's like, holiday shopping season. So I think pretty soon we'll play another What on Amazon Is This? Because I got a lot of stuff. It's in the photo roll. Every time I see something weird, I just like screenshot and then I save that for later. I think we're getting close. We'll play another game of that soon. All right, guys. No video tomorrow. But I will see you guys again for a live stream Wednesday. Thursday, I got to cancel live stream. The running event's coming up. There's like a webinar I kind of want to go to. I can't move it because I didn't schedule it. And, it's a big thing. So we won't have one Thursday, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time as today, 1 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.